Welcome to our latest series from the East Coast with the Snyder Fire Department. Snyder, New York is located in the town of Amherst in Erie County. The start of their series will begin with the FDIC Experience.
My name is Paul, and I'm with the Snyder Fire Department, and I've been with the Snyder Fire Department for over 27 years. I've been a chief officer for 14 years. I've been the chief of the department for 4 years. I was also with another volunteer fire company before I came to Snyder, so I have almost 30 years as a volunteer firefighter.
Within our fire district, it's approximately about 20,000 people that we serve. 20,000 residents, I should say. Obviously, there's visitors that come in. We have a local college that brings in a lot of people. Some of them even from Canada. Obviously, you have a shopping district, so you bring in people that way too. Major high school. It's kind of Main Street USA when you think about it. It's with the shopping district right along where the fire hall is. So we have a major interstate that runs through our fire district, so that creates some motor vehicle accidents and all kinds of different challenges because there's all kinds of different vehicles that go down the interstate 90, personal vehicles and all kinds of different things. You beef up the axles, and so we don't have those much issues. And then the other question is one or two,
I was going to say, is the weight issue a function of the truck's limit?
So you can go beefier, and therefore, and it may not even have to go tandem.
That's
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But if you beef the axle up enough, you might not have to go with the dual.
Yeah.
You know more about it than I do, but just from being in the meetings, that's what I pick up on. So I think
it's all about the weight distribution.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it works well. You know, he just had it tuned up, so it really works very well.
I joined Snyder 33 years ago, in 1982 to be exact. I never intended to be a volunteer firefighter. I happened to be working at a supermarket, and one of my co-workers next to me, I noticed he had a pager on his belt. I didn't even know what a pager was, and I asked him what it was, and he explained to me that he was a volunteer firefighter. He was actually the son of the chief at the time, and said, "Why don't you join?" And I said, "I don't know anything about being a firefighter." He goes, "Come on down and join." So I thought about it, and I ended up doing it because I was going to college at the time, and a lot of my friends had gone away to college. I stayed local, and I was looking for some things to do, so I joined the fire department, and I was hooked immediately.
When I moved to, had some friends that were in Snyder, so that's why I ended up coming here. Never thinking that I would be chief someday, but it's certainly an honor to be a chief of what I consider a very fine fire department, and I think well regarded throughout the town and the area.
It got in my blood immediately. It was something that I just fell in love with, and I aspired to be the best firefighter and member of the Snyder Fire Department that I could be. I love being a firefighter so much. I actually tried to be a paid firefighter in our nearby city, but ended up getting a job as a fire dispatcher, and that's my paid job, and that made me just be immersed in the fire service 24/7, and I absolutely love it.
The one thing about being a volunteer firefighter, being a firefighter, and it's the brotherhood that comes with being a firefighter. And anywhere you go, if you're wearing the shirt with the Maltese cross on it, you see another person wearing that, it's instant. You nod your head, you acknowledge each other. It's just amazing that fraternity that exists out there. Going to FDIC is kind of that, on steroids.
The FDIC convention has always been a very big part of the Snyder Fire Department. We continue to send many of our members.
It's the premier fire conference around the world, I would say, but certainly the U.S. They draw people from firefighters, up to 30,000 firefighters from all over the globe, so not just the U.S. and Canada.
I was made aware of it as a young junior officer that you will get no better training than by going to FDIC.
It's the top-notch training. This is where you go, where all the top trainers, the chiefs in the fire departments across the country are there. This is where you get the latest and greatest information. So it's a conference that, if you can attend, it's absolutely the conference to attend.
A majority of our standard operating procedures and a majority of the way we do things, what we call the Snyder way, we learned at FDIC. We charge our officers with going to training classes at FDIC and bringing that information back to us so we can evaluate it, and if needed we can review it and maybe implement it as part of our standard operating procedure. And we've done that over and over again.
I'd like to talk about Mike Vestito, one of our new lieutenants. Mike's been with us for 3 years, and he has the opportunity to go to FDIC for the first time. And Mike's enthusiasm is infectious. Mike brings a lot to the table because of that enthusiasm. And when Mike, being a junior lieutenant, he gives training so he can come back and share what he learns at FDIC with everybody here at Snyder.
So it'll be neat. It's kind of cool. I've wanted to go for a few years now, and I'm lucky I'm able to go this year. So it'll be cool to bring back all the stuff from there, see what I can learn and share with everyone else. And it's kind of neat. I know, I mean, you're newer here too, but you learn a lot from this, and you'll see a lot of the stuff that we've done in our drills, we pick up here and bring back.
We always talk up FDIC with our membership, and when we have new officers such as Mike, Lieutenant Vestito, we tell him, if at all possible, you need to go to FDIC.
So I didn't really know much about FDIC before I joined here, but then as you kind of get in and hear more about what's going on, which is opportunities to learn, there's a lot of local training, but then there's also these larger conferences that we're lucky enough to have our department pay to send us to. And FDIC is kind of the biggest one. It's probably the most well-known. And a lot of our officers have been going for years, and I've been kind of listening to what they explain about it. Being an officer, I was asked what I was interested in going this year, and I said absolutely. Had to work out schedule with time off from work and that, because you have to kind of balance the two ends of it, but I was lucky that I was able to go.
Keep in mind that these firefighters, these officers have to take personal vacation time to be able to go to FDIC, so we try to justify to them that they will never regret it, and they will be so glad they did. And sure enough, usually after they go once, they're hooked and they want to go every year, sometimes maybe to the chagrin of their family because they're taking personal vacation time. So we talked it up with Mike quite a bit about how you need to go to FDIC, you're going to get hooked, and he is so excited to go. He had a tough time picking out what classes he wanted to attend because there's so many good classes to choose from, and he's just looking forward to it. And we're looking forward to it as the veterans of the organization to show him the way of how FDIC is and how to network and meet people and show him, so he can then pass that on to people that come behind him.
Usually get a lot of good stories, and all the stuff we'll learn there, and all the vendor displays, and obviously we're looking at new apparatus. You kind of see what they have there, so it's pretty cool. A lot of stuff going on, and it'll be weird to be gone out there for a whole week and spend that time on it, but it's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it.
We continue to impress upon our new junior officers, just like it was pressed on me when I was a junior officer, that you need to go to FDIC to get the best training. You also get the network. The networking that goes on there is almost as important and almost as good as the training. It's an all-encompassing great week of training and networking with the best firefighters in the world. What's cool too is sometimes you come back and you realize, okay, I learned this, this, and this. Hey, we're doing 3 out of those 4, so we're doing good stuff here.
It does reinforce about what we're doing, which is good. That means we're staying on the cutting edge, which is what you want, but. That's the opportunity because that's where all the first-class instructors are, is to keep yourself on the cutting edge. So.
And speaking of first-class instructors, anyone that you have a preference for, any of the people you've seen speak or seen on the internet or read their articles, they will be at FDIC. And you know what? You can go up and talk to them and shake their hand, and they'll spend time with you. There's nothing about, well, you're from a small volunteer department or you're from a big career department. It doesn't matter. They treat everyone the same.
The great thing about FDIC and the training that they offer there is that it's cutting edge. It's the latest and greatest. Folks from UL and NIST are there. That's the biggest thing that they've been doing. Bobby Halton is the editor-in-chief of Fire Engineering, and one thing about going to FDIC, anybody who's gone there and knows this, so when Bobby gives his talk at the opening ceremony and the general session the next day is beyond enthusiastic. Bobby gets everybody's juices flowing because he's just so passionate about the fire service that you sit in the chair and you recharge your batteries for another year.
Bobby Halton is the editor of Fire Engineering Magazine, and he is also the man behind FDIC. He took over FDIC from the late Tom Brennan and has done a phenomenal job of keeping it going in Tom's memory. He is also one of the best known fire chiefs in the United States, but he's also a great friend to everybody he meets. So Bobby Halton is not just an incredible leader of FDIC and an incredible editor of Fire Engineering Magazine, he's a great friend of the Snyder Fire Department and every fire department he comes in contact with.
Are you sure we can go on?
You know what? I can go on.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Bob. They didn't give us much information. 4 structural firemen, 1 driver.
Okay.
We're going to be going hot if you choose to the staging area. We could send everything at least part way if you wanted to, whatever you want to do. Dom has got a staging area at 485 Cayuga. That's where we're going to be.
That is right here. As soon as you turn off of the Worley, I think it's right on the left there.
Yeah. So we're good.
Okay.
We're good to go. So
All right.
I just got to let them know that we're responding.
Yeah.
Oh, we need a driver, I guess.
Well, there's your driver, so. We're going to go to staging, and we'll find out more when we get there, but I'm not sure what's going on, but we'll know more when we get there. One of our guys is kind of in charge here, so. Amherst 99's on location, staging.
Raider 9 on location at staging.
This is one of our emergency coordinators for the town of Amherst, Dominic Creamer. Dom, again.
Hey, Chief. They're not going to have you go in. If you do go in your truck, if you go in, you're going to be part of a crew.
Okay.
They want on their engine 4 structural firemen and a driver.
You got that.
At this point right now, they're holding. They have 2 Tuaga companies covering their calls
Okay.
for the airport.
Okay.
They got a plane that came in, had smoke on it.
Okay.
They evacuated everybody onto the runway.
Okay.
And right now, they wanted to make sure staging was filled at this point.
Okay, sure. We were dispatched mutual aid to the airport they had a report of a plane came in with smoke. They evacuated the passengers onto the runway. We're part of a mutual aid plan, as I said. Us and 2 are here in the staging area, and we'll just wait to be called in. Anybody that goes in onto an active runway has to be escorted. So right now we're just in the wait mode.
They stopped them out on the runway, and it was still filling up with smoke. They took everybody off the plane. Now they're evaluating everybody on the runway, and they don't know where the fire is on the airplane at this point.
They're probably over here. Their firehouse is actually right here.
Right.
They have somebody staged there right now taking care of business, but we're right here.
Okay.
And then more than likely going in. And you're going to be escorted anyway.
Amherst, Snyder 9.
Go ahead, Snyder 9.
Snyder be in service from the airport.
Snyder's in service from the airport, 1324 hours.
guys can start walking over here.
These are heavy. Yeah.